Good morning, class. This is your Rocket High Priestess Jennifer with Clear Path Intuition, and this is Driving Discourse, Episode 3. And not discord, discourse. Discourse means a discussion of a topic, a formal discussion of a topic through speech or writing. So get on with it. I woke up this morning to go outside only to find that the raccoons, I now have 2. Started with 1, but now I have 2 raccoons and a possum that frequents my patio. And now this is a new thing that's happened. It started just 1 last week. I noticed the cat's always hungry. Well, and something was carrying off the cat food. Well, because I feed outside cats that come up. You know, I live in the country, and they're hungry, and they chase me around until I give them food. So I give them food. So not to right on my heels, meow, meow, meow. And I'm like, yeah. So, you know, I also have inside cats. So, anywho. So now it went from 1 raccoon that is not scared of me at all, one bit, to now 2 raccoons that is not scared of me at all, one bit, and a possum now that is. Well, he's a little leery, but he doesn't move very fast. When I walk out the door, they're just all like, hey, I'm in your garbage. I'm eating your cat food. I'm digging up all your plants and dumping out your potting soil and taking everything out of your cereal boxes out of your burn bin, and, you know, making sure I get every crumb and everything. So, yeah. And they've become quite the menace. But then I was like, you filthy animals. But then it brought me to, excuse me, I haven't felt well the last couple of days. Kentucky crud. But then it brought me to something that I had said a couple weeks ago to someone, and I was referring to a gentleman as a filthy animal. You know, like kind of like on Home Alone, you filthy animal, you know. So, and it reminded me, when I said that, reminded me of that conversation that I was having about a person that was acting very animalistic, I thought, you know, because, well, this is the deal. So it seems the wildlife is not scared of the humans, and the humans are scared of the humans. So it's almost like the humans have become wild in nature, and the wildlife have become, you know, tame, you know, in nature. So, I mean, hell, we're pals now. So, I mean, they don't even budge when I shoo them. So, sorry, I lost my train of thought for a second. Squirrel. But, you know, and that's exactly, so what I've said, you know, so like what I said, you know, humans have become, you know, like wild, and wildlife are becoming, you know, like chummy with the humans. So there's something amiss here, because I'll just say, you know, I'm not what you consider, you know, prom queen by most, I guess, the collective's opinion. I mean, I think I'm, you know, definitely prom queen material. I mean, I'm prom queen in my magazine for sure. You know, I'm beautiful inside and out, but, you know, I just don't think I would gather the vote of the whole collective. So, and that's okay. You know, it's none of my business another person's opinion of me. So, moving on. So, I mean, this is the deal. Okay, I'm 42 years old. Yes, 42, you know, 5'6", 200 pounds-ish, you know, so, I mean, I'm a full-figured lady, you know, but I carry it so well. But what I'm saying is that, you know, I feel better, though. I feel like I feel better, and I feel like I look better than I ever have. I feel better now than I did at 25 years old. So, and I'm single. So, and this is like the first time ever in my life that I've been single. You know, and it's purposeful. You know, I decided after, you know, the last relationship, which turned out to be with a narcissist, that I really needed to discontinue my lace of relationships, and take some time for me to heal and, and go within and see why these aren't working out and why I keep, attracting the same type of person, and but they just continually keep getting worse. So yeah, it's time to go within and heal some daddy issues. So that's what I've been doing. So rounding back to what I was saying about people have become, animalistic, is that, I can't get anyone to agree. I mean, I'm getting to the point where I'm asking people, and I can't get anyone to agree to go on a date, like dinner, like have dinner. Hey, let's go out and have something to eat. I'm not asking them for marriage. I'm not asking, for a relationship. I'm just asking for camaraderie, a little chivalry. Hey, let's go out and have a good time, because you never know, interesting conversation. You never know, so, and if anything, it was a good time. No harm, no foul. I mean, obviously, I like to eat. So, but it seems that it's literally been impossible. I have went out on one lunch date with a gentleman who is, several years older than me. I mean, I feel like when we went that we were both under the understanding that we were going as friends, and that was it. And that's all that came of it. And guess what? I had a great day, and we got to know each other more. And so now I'm like, hey, so-and-so, I have a friend. And all that it took was, just, I mean, if anybody knows me, which you all don't, but a lot of people do, I mean, I'm a Taurus. So the key to my heart and my vagina is through my belly. Pretty much. I can jump on anybody's revolving door, to, in and out of their bed, just jump on and jump in, but that's not what I'm looking for. I mean, I'm 42 years old. I've had plenty of, I've had plenty of good times. And so what I'm looking for is substance. So friendship, and you never know. You might just actually hit it off, and, it could turn into something more. But what I'm saying is, everybody is so, everybody's so scared of getting, it's like this. It's like everyone is so scared of getting a hold of that narcissistic relationship again, that everybody's turned into the one thing that they fear. So, good job. No. I mean, the whole point is to live and learn, and to learn and experience and grow from these experiences. So, but what's happened is, people have had the unfortunate, it's very unfortunate. I mean, let's just keep it real. Narcissism is not something that, 5 years ago you really heard of, but now we knew the behaviors, but we just didn't know that, it just wasn't as, there wasn't really a name, but it has become such an issue because now we have, we've bred generations that's bred another generation. Now we're talking, we're we're at least 4 generations into, and it, and whatever breeds, only spreads. So narcissism is become it's an epidemic. It really and truly is. And so, we have a bunch of people, running around using people for money or, clout or whatever it is that, whatever supply that they're getting, people that lack empathy, person with narcissism, it's a behavioral disorder for sure. And it might as well just be a disease, but it's a behavioral disorder that is something that, you either learn empathy at this young age of 2 years old, around this toddler age. You either learn it or you don't. And so let's say you have 2 households, with babies crying in the playpen, and in one household, baby's crying, mama goes in there, picks them up, consoles them, baby learns empathy. Let's say in the other house, baby's crying in the playpen, wants somebody to come get them, and nobody ever comes and gets them. So through neglect, this unfortunate baby has not learned empathy because they did not get their needs fulfilled. Where when you learn empathy, that means, you had a need at this young age, and, you had a need and it got fulfilled. So you learned empathy. Well, or you have kids, and this is another way. So either through abuse or neglect, or you learn it from parents. Narcissistic parents are really great at molding at least one child of their children into being just like them, their star child. So usually you have your fall child and your star child in a narcissistic household, but that's a topic for another discussion. But then you have, let's say you have these kids nowadays, which is where it's coming from, is we're creating little narcissists because our children don't want for anything. They don't have need for anything because we're like, here, handing them everything before they ever need it. They don't have a care in the world or a want or a need in the world. So we're actually creating little self-serving, privileged, narcissists because we're not letting our children have any need for anything, So if you never need anything and you're just getting handed everything hand over fist, then you don't learn empathy, So, a little perspective. So we're creating them. So, we want to sit here and bitch and complain about, our kids are, don't appreciate anything. Well, of course they don't appreciate everything when they get everything, even go in their bedroom, they have everything they could ever want. Every time they go out, they get a toy. We're just here, giving them everything they could ever need without any, they don't have to do chores anymore. They don't have to work for anything. We're just handing everything right on over. So yeah, we're creating these, we're creating them. And I'm guilty. I'm not I'm guilty of, not making my kids have to, work for anything, or, they don't, now they did fear consequence. I think that was their saving grace, because if I said, stop doing that, or I'm going to come in there and, knock the hell out of you, they kept doing it, you heard thump, 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 and then they started running because they knew I was coming. I meant what I said in that aspect, because I did not let my children walk on me. However, I was a pretty big sucker, and I gave, and they never had to want for anything. So, but I got lucky in the other aspect, so I think that was my saving grace. But boy, I cut it close. So what I'm saying is rounding back around to, people have become wild, and the animals have become, like people. These animals are very used, they do not fear me at all whatsoever. But then, I can't get, like, I'm telling you, I have been turned down so many times just for dinner. Like, here I am practically like begging, hey, you want to go grab, a bite to eat, whatever this weekend, and maybe, stop out and have a beer. I'm not asking for marriage. I'm not even asking for, I'm just asking for, a dinner date and a camaraderie, just kind of like the good old days, like, instead everybody's like, hey, do you want to hang out? I'm like, you mean, do I want to come, like, jump in the bed with you? No. Thanks, though. Maybe eventually, but, I actually had somebody just last week, met a fine looking specimen of a man, let me tell you. Ooh, I was like, wookie there. And he was talking to me, and I thought we were hitting it off, and I gave him, I was like, here's my number, if you ever want to, like, go out and grab a bite to eat or something, whatever. And he's like, all right, well, I'll think about it. I'm like, okay, well, no big deal if you don't. So the end of the evening came, we're at the little local, end of my evening came, so, which was, I think I stuck around for 2 hours because I happened to run into a friend. We're at the little local watering hole. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll see you guys later. I'm headed to home. And he says, well, I'll follow you. Like out the door or to my house. And he's like, to your house? I'm like, but we just met, first of all. But I was like, well, I appreciate that. I really do appreciate that. But, I'm just, I require, food or, a date or something first these days. And he goes, and he sat there for a second. He goes, you have a lot of expectations. I said, because I don't want to just jump in the sack with you. No, I don't feel like, I just, so I'm sitting there thinking, well, aren't somebody pouting? Yes, he was, but no, I didn't say that. I said, well, I said, this thing is so-and-so, is that, I know plenty of revolving doors in and out of the sack, and that's not really what I'm looking for. I said, I'm 42 years old, and I know what I want, and I'm looking for more of trying to build relationships, friendships, so on and so forth. So if, feeding me before you fuck me is having too much of an expectation, then I'm sorry you feel that way. God forbid, I would have ever asked him to, open the door for me or anything like that. Jeez. Probably would have been too much to hand me a towel. But moving on. So, rounding back around to the whole moral of the story is that, everyone has gotten a hold of a narcissist and has had the unfortunate experience of having a relationship of some form with a narcissist. I mean, if it isn't a romantic relationship, then you've had that sibling, you've had that parent, you've had that grandparent, everyone has had the unfortunate experience of experiencing narcissists. But the silver lining in that, if we can do this correctly and try to change the perspective, is that, instead of becoming what we fear, which is what's happening here, we could change the perspective and be grateful that we've had that experience with these people, because by these experiences, we should now be able to spot one. I can peg one within 2 minutes. Conversating with them, and there are narcissist tests. Me, I don't give away too much information anymore. When I first meet someone, I really, hold back, because, a narcissist, when you're first meeting them, what happens is, they're sitting there listening to you, you're telling them everything that they need to know to become everything you need them to be. So, sorry, a little snotty here. Kentucky crud. So, while you're talking about your ex did this, you just come out of this type of relationship, it didn't blah, 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 blah. They're sitting there going, and they're becoming everything that you need them to be. So, yeah. So, slow cook them, okay? So, don't try not to give away too much information about yourself when you first meet someone. Don't tell them about your ex. Just say, I just come out of a relationship. Don't give them any details. Save that for a while. And if they say, well, how was that? Say, well, I learned a lot, and I'd rather not get too personal at first, because it's just for the safety of yourself, really. Because what's going to happen is, when you don't divulge all the information that they need, what's going to happen is, very, very quickly after meeting or dating this person, second or third date, if you're not giving them any information, they don't know who to be. So therefore, they're gonna quickly let you know what's wrong with you, that they can't date you, and that it's not going to work out. What's going to happen there? So yeah, slow cook them, and be careful not to become the thing that you fear. Because it's traumatic. Really and truly, going through a narcissistic relationship is traumatic. It's a traumatic experience that a lot of people have to recover from and find themselves again, and financially and personally and spiritually. It's quite an ordeal. So, when I say it's an epidemic, it's exactly what I mean. It's an epidemic. It's something that requires healing. So, with so much trauma, with the trauma, and sometimes it's learned behavior, and we've all at some point, been narcissistic, but hopefully you learn from that experience, and that was something a long time ago that, that you'll never treat someone that way ever again. The whole goal is to treat others how you want to be treated, and to be able to empathize and have compassion, live in that godly and Jesus energy of compassion and, and empathy, and, so not being selfish and controlling and manipulative and cheating and lying and taking and never giving and never apologizing, and there's a narcissistic relationship. So education, knowledge is power. So that's why I'm sharing through my personal experiences, because boy, do I have the personal experiences to share. And I think, that's the reason why I have, experienced everything that I have in my life, because, I could never take advice about my children from someone who doesn't have children. So I'm here to educate. I'm here to, relate. I'm here to empathize. And so instead of tearing each other down, I'm here to help build us up. So, we have to be the change that we want to see made in this world. It's one thing to sit there and bitch and complain watching the news and blah, 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 blah. Well, you know what? I can't do anything about any of them jokers up in the White House, or what this one's doing or what that one's doing. I can't do anything about that. But what I can do something about is me. It's what's the saying? It's how you react. It's not about we all experience things, but it's how we react to them is what matters. So my reaction through my, what I consider some unfortunate experiences, is that I'm choosing to react in a manner that I'm choosing to be the change that I want to see made, because I feel like a lot of the things that have been a lot of people's reactions towards me, and the way a lot of people have treated me, and a lot of things that I've had endured in my life that I feel like could have been avoided, and that, it was a lot of bad behavior. So I want to be the change. So if I want to see change in the world, I have to do it. If I want things to change, I have to walk that change. I have to talk that change. I have to be that change. So that's what I'm doing. I am leading the changes that I would like to see made in people, and in how we treat one another, and how we react to one another, and all of our experiences, because we are all going through our own experiences and our own journey. But the thing is, so many people have been through a lot of same stuff, so why not share our experience and the wisdom from it, instead of criticizing one another and making someone a scapegoat. Oh, look, they're down. Everybody's eyes are on them because they fucked up. So let's go over here and, kick them while they're down, because then it'll take the eyes off me, and nobody will sit there and look at me and all the, bullshit I got going on in my life. Let's just, keep the spotlight on them because they're already down. Has been some of the experience. That's what I have. I feel like, unfortunately, have experienced from my community. So, yeah, a lot of bullshit. So a lot of rumors. I mean, it was sickening. But so instead of whining, which I haven't, I have just kept to myself, and I have educated myself, and I have worried about me, and I have become the person that I want to be. I've become the person that I want to show up as in this world. So I'm good with me. I know my faults inside and out. I know my good, I know my bad, and I'm okay with that. So anybody that feels like that they want to criticize me, and put me down, then obviously they are an insecure person and stuff within themselves, because I have come to learn that a person that is secure within themselves, a person that is, happy in their life, has no reason to put down or make another person feel less than. So people that do that are very insecure people. So just remember that. How a person treats you is not about you, but about them, because a person that's good within themselves has no reason to treat another person or make them like crap or make them feel less than. So remember that. So I'm not pulling any tarot today. I might here in just a little bit. I'm getting ready to go into work, because like I said in my first video, I have not hit my $1 million windfall yet, but I mean, I do expect it any day now. So have a great day. I hope some of this helped someone. So, bye.